Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Rose Ward, Stampersdelight.com. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, and come stamp with me. I have my When in Doubt, Stamp It Out mug today. And if you'd like that mug or other stamping apparel, go to Stampersdelightshop.com. Somebody asked me the other day if they could order. They're not in the United States. And yes, the Stampers Delight shop, the apparel shop, you can order no matter where you are. So check that out. Hop on, say hi, let me know where you're watching from. So we're going to get started. I do want to remind you that my online classes will be in the links below. And also, if you'd like to join my team, I need more coffee. If you'd like to join my team right now, you can get the new stamp positioner free with your starter kit. All the links will be below. If you have any questions, just ask. Okay, I am going to flip this camera. Oh my gosh, I'm like losing it this morning. Here we go. All right, this morning we're going to be working with the Beach Boardwalk Suite Collection. I need to stop talking so fast, I guess, but that's what happens when I'm on my second cup of coffee. If you're following along, that is on page 46 and 47, and there's also some ideas on 48. So this is the suite that we're going to be working with today. I will bring in the stamps and dies. So these are the stamps, and here are the dies. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Roz, Lori, Andrea. Thank you so much for tuning in. Such a cute, fun set. And I have a fun fold for you today that you can do two different ways. You've probably seen this before. It's called the Dutch door. But I'm going to show you two different ways you could do that. Oh, thank you, Roz. Yes, I had a nice birthday. Thank you. So let me bring those pieces in. And remember, when this live is done, you can go back and sign up for my newsletter and get these 2 PDFs for free. So you don't have to worry about taking the measurements down and everything. I will have that on my newsletter with a downloadable PDF. Hi, Stacy and Gail. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take a piece of cardstock. This is strawberry slush. And that is 4 1/4 by 9. I have to bring in my paper trimmer. And I am going to score that at 5 1/2. Hopefully I wrote down all the measurements right. So I'm going to just grab my bone folder and give that a good scoring. Now, there's several ways that you can do these cards, and I'm going to explain, different ways that you can do it, okay? So that's my card base. Then I'm going to bring in another piece of cardstock, which is 2 inches by 8 1/2. Move that out of the way for a minute. And I am going to score that on each end at 2 1/8. So there's 2 1/4. I'm going to go down to 2 1/8. And I'm going to score that. Then I'm going to flip it and do it the same way on this side. I'm going to fold those over. And if it overlaps a little bit, that's okay. If it doesn't quite meet, that's okay. It's still going to come out really nice. Okay, now the first thing I want to show you is there's 2 ways you can do this. You can layer this on the back side, like that, or you can layer it on the inside. I like to do it on the inside because then I put a piece of cardstock there. And if they are not perfect, we're going to fix that. So the first thing I'm going to do is bring in my Stamp and Seal. And again, you can use whichever glue you like. I do put a lot on this because I want it to stay where I need it. You can use liquid glue or your tear and tape too. And I'm gonna, this just looks a little long to me. Let me just double check this. I thought so. Let me just trim off that. It's not quite 4 1/4, and that's what I need. Sometimes my eyes don't work. All right, 4 1/4. I'm then gonna layer that right at the bottom here. And then it would close this way. So we have this. That gives you the Dutch door. Again, you can put it on the back side, but I like to do it on the front so that I can stamp over it. So let's do that next. I'm going to bring in my mat here, and I'm going to bring in this stamp and the happy birthday. I'm going to use strawberry slush. I'm going to bring in a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 white. And I'm going to ink that up. I'm going to put this right in the middle. You can't sleep. Oh my gosh, it's 4 a.m. there. Girl, you need to get to bed. Then I'm going to bring in the happy birthday. And I'm going to put that right here. I'll just put that aside for a second. I'm then going to glue this down in the center of my card. So that's the inside when they open it. All right, for the flaps, I'm going to take a piece of 3 1/4 by 4. That's going to layer, and you can use any of the designer series paper. You could also do it as large as the top piece. I like to have some of the pink showing. So again, this is 3 1/4 by 4. And I am going to layer that right on top here. I've also got 2 pieces. Now these pieces are 1 3/4 by 2. And you can see they're ombre, so they go light to dark. And they're going to go right on these flaps. So let's put a little glue here. The smaller the pieces, then I start switching to liquid glue. And I am going to open that up so I can see what I'm doing here. I want that flap, so let's get that out of the way. And the same thing on this side. Definitely share my videos, leave me comments, and if you case my card, please do so and tag me so I can see what you came up with. I'm going to layer that right there. So this is a Dutch door. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to bring in designer series paper. This one is cut down at 6 inches by 12. And I'm going to bring in the dies. So I want this one right here. And I'm going to layer that right on top. I bring in my die cutting machine. I'm going to lay that onto here. And if I find my Post-it note tape, which is, oh, it's right where it's supposed to be. Imagine that. I love this Post-it note tape, and it goes a long way. So I'm going to layer that right there. And I'm going to cut this out. So I've got that piece. While I have this here, I'm going to switch it up, and I'm going to grab this piece of designer series paper. Might as well do them both while I have this here. And this fits onto several of these tickets. I'm going to grab, which one do I want to grab? I'll do this one. And I'm going to take that Post-it note tape back off. It's reusable. That's what's so great about it. And I am going to cut this. You find watching me on YouTube is much better than Facebook. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, let's move this out of the way. Hopefully I don't drop it. And now I have this piece. I'm gonna take this one out. I don't even have to use my wire brush for this one. Comes out pretty easy. And what a lot of people don't know is that there's these little dots there. That helps pop these pieces out. It is a little thin piece, so you want to be careful. And we'll just slide that over here. And you can see that there's the little things on the Ferris wheel. All right, I'm going to bring in my card. And I'm going to glue that down flat right there. I find laying it down first works better for me. I'm going to take my glue press, and this is where I'm going to be adding liquid glue. A little bit all over. Hoping not to get it on my hands like I always do. Close that up. I can lay it this way and it'll be flatter for me. I'm going to lay that down right here. Then I'm going to go in and I am going to add some mini dimensionals to this. Yes, get out your amusement park pictures. That's what I'm going to do. There's a workshop kit, scrapbooking workshop kit, and that will hopefully be my next Scrapbook Sunday. I have a lot of amusement park pictures too. I'm using mini dimensionals. I'm going all the way around on the seats here. There we go. Okay, so for the next part, you have this die, which actually cuts out all those little seats. I've already done that because I wanted them in different colors. Ooh, look at these little fun little stickers. We're gonna switch over here. And I need my take your pick tool, which is, oh, there's one right there. Get back here. I'm gonna go ahead first and pop all these off. It was funny, I did a presentation last year in Raleigh, and I used the take your pick tool to flick off all of these. And when I came back off stage and went back, the girls back there never saw that. They never saw us do this. All right, we have all these little seats. I am going to layer them right on top there. I'm going to do different colors. We want to make sure that they're the right side up. We don't want anybody falling out of the Ferris wheel. You like Ferris wheels? I'm afraid of heights, so I've been on them, but I don't like heights. So this one's a little crooked. We don't want anybody rocking and rolling here. Let's move that one. You could just do the liquid glue on this, but I wanted mine to have some dimension. And then, well, that one's teetering a little bit. you're getting that workshop kit on your next. I can't wait to play with it. And then let's see, we need another one of these. And then we'll go back with this one. And then this color. And then the pink. And this one. So the putty on the end of your take your pick tool holds that for you. There we go. There's my little Ferris wheel. I'm going to bring in that paper again. We don't have a die for this, but I want to use that, so I am going to fussy cut that. If you don't know what fussy cutting is, basically it's just cutting with your scissors. I want this piece right there. And my heat just kicked on. I know a lot of you wonder what that noise is. Unfortunately, we're downstairs in my studio. I'm right next to the furnace room, so can't change the furnace room. So I apologize. And just gonna cut that around. If you turn the paper, I would like to give you little tips and tricks. If you turn the paper rather than the scissors, it's easier to fussy cut. I know a lot of you don't like to fussy cut. I don't mind it. I find it kind of relaxing, actually, until my hands start bothering me. Okay. Then I'm going to add this one right here. So I really didn't need those, but I'm going to use some dimensionals again. You don't do Ferris wheels either. I don't blame you. As a kid, I didn't really go on. And when my son was little, I had no choice because my husband wouldn't go on those rides. Okay, and I'll put one in the center here. Make sure they're all off. They are. I'm going to add that right there. Now it's really got some dimension. Now for here, I'm going to take that ticket and I am going to bring in my stamp Enjoy the Ride. Again, if you're inking up a lot here, if you want to just go like this, it kind of distributes the ink a little better until you re-ink it. I'm going to stamp Enjoy the Ride right on that ticket. When I close it, I want it to go like that. So I'm going to put dimensionals again, but only on one side. Maybe a third one just to keep it right in place. Just make sure that it's over far enough and that your dimensional's not showing there. I'm going to bring in those cute little well, let's see exactly what they're called. They are called Beach Boardwalk Puffy Stickers. I love these. And I'm going to grab those two balloons here. Now I'm going to close it because I want it when it's closed to look like the balloons are coming right out of there. And then I'm going to add this one right here. For up here, I'm going to take a strip of white. So let's just grab that. I'm going to grab the Hey Sunshine. And then I'm just going to use my scissors. Normally I would use my paper trimmer, but I'm just going to cut that myself. Yeah, I did it pretty straight. And then I'm going to add this somewhere in here. I think I'm going to add it maybe right here. Oh, I kind of like it there. All right, so we'll add some more dimensionals. I have another one to show you. We'll see. All right, I'm going to add that right there. I'm going to actually put another dimensional underneath there because I want it to be the same height. So I'm doubling the dimensional here. There we go. So now it doesn't lay flat there, it's puffed up. So there is my first Dutch door. Now for the envelope, and I should have it here somewhere. Where is it? Did I leave it on the other table? Well, there's part of it. I'm going to use that addressed to you stamp that I use all the time. Let me just grab that. I thought I brought it over. This is very dirty, but this is that addressed to you stamp that I've told you about and I've showed you. I thought I had the paper here. Ah, there it is. So this is addressed to you. And I use this all the time now. This one happens to have balloons with it, so I don't have, I can use a different stamp if I want, but I'm going to use those balloons because they go with this set. And then I'll bring in my balloons. I'm going to switch to Summer Splash. And I'm going to add those right here. And now I have a cute matching envelope for my card. Okay, so here's the first one I did with that. And you'll see that I cut out the Ferris wheel, but I didn't add those little seats on it. And I'm going to go back and do that because it really pops, makes it pop. So I have plenty of those in my little dish here, and I will be fixing that one. All right, let me just have a sip of coffee. Let's do the second one. For this one, I'm using Summer Splash. Again, it's still the Dutch door, just a different way to do it. This is 4 1/4 by 11. I'm going to go ahead and score that and get this out of my way before I put my fingers in it. Oh, thank you. And I'm going to score that in half, which is 5 1/2. And the rest of it is really the same. Here is that strip, which is 2 by 8 1/2. I'm going to go in and score it at 2 1/8. Flip it over and do 2 1/8. Bring in my bone folder and really give that a good burnishing. And that is going to go inside here, just like I did the other one. So we'll flip that over. Oh, thank you. You like that? It is cute. And it's something different. I'm going to layer that right at the bottom again. Then I have a piece of Designer Series paper, which is 4 by 5 1/4. You can see it's double-sided. I'm going to use this side. I'm going to take my chamois and just clean this off. This is a 1/4 sheet of piece of chamois. Of course, now it's all over my fingers. I'm going to bring in the Summer Splash. I'm going to add that right here, roughly in the center. I'm then going to glue that down. That's going to go right inside here. Okay, I've got, well, I had 2 of these. I'm not sure where the other one went. Probably on my table, so I'm going to cut another one. Oh, there it is. I found it. So again, the same 2 sizes that I did before. These are 1 3/4 by 2, or 2 by 1 3/4. I'm going to grab my glue. And I'm going to add those onto my flaps. Good morning, Allison. My cousin Allison is on. Thank you for joining us. I hope everything is good in Florida. Can you believe that the South got so much snow? Now, your Dutch door goes like this. And again, I'm just going to bring in my bone folder to give that a good crisp. Let me do it this way. Make sure it's laying flat. And then we will do this one. And I just flipped that around wrong. Let's do it this way. I didn't want, well, I guess I'm making a different card. Okay. So let me show you the card that I was gonna do. And I just put that on the inside instead of the outside. I'm actually going to see if I can play around with it and pull it off. Oh, I can. Okay, so here's a mistake, and here's how to fix it. I'm just going to rip that off. No worries, because it's going to get covered up. Otherwise, I'll just cut another piece. Okay, so this was a teaching moment on how to fix your card if you mess it up. Oh, you know what I tell you, if I had to be perfect, I wouldn't be doing this. So I am just gently pulling that all up because that's not the way I wanted it. This is actually going to go on the top. The inside is this. I'm going to grab Celebrate. I'm going to grab the balloons from the Address to You. That's going to go in the center. There we go. Fixed it. So this looks like that now. Okay. I've already cut this Ferris wheel out, so I'm going to use that one. I'm going to bring in those little doodads again. And I am going to go around this again. With these little guys. I think I have enough of the little seats in there. If I don't, I will cut some more out. this is actually going to get layered right on top of here, but only part of it. So I'm going to add some liquid glue to part of this, right about here. I hope I didn't add any to the top. So this opens like that. I did add a little liquid glue here, so we're just going to wipe that off. We don't need it there. This glass mat saves me every time. So again, closing it up like that, you have your Ferris wheel there. So while that's drying, I will take off all of these. That one doesn't want to come off. Don't forget to leave me a comment, ask me a question, case my cards. Make sure they're all off. Then I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to add these little guys. Hot pink. So strawberry slush, summer splash, blackberry bliss, fresh freesia. Those are the colors that I'm using. Don't want that one yet. I want this one. And then a blackberry bliss. Then the fresh freesia. I think I might just have enough. I think I cut out just enough. Now, it's not sticky. Even though these are sticky, it'll be fine. It's not going to stick to your card base or your envelope. And then we need one of these. And after that one, we got a blackberry bliss. And after blackberry bliss, oh, good. I had just enough. I don't have to cut any more out. Okay. Now I'm going to grab that sheet again that had these cute little pieces to it. I'm closing up my glue before it gets too clogged up. Now I want this one, so I'm going to go ahead and cut in here. Brr, from Florida. Hi, Patty. Yeah, cold down south. I think it was Myrtle Beach where my brother is. I think they got like a foot of snow. I feel for yous all. Our last snowstorm, I got 2 feet. It's supposed to snow again this weekend, but I think we're only going to get like 1 to 3 inches. Can you imagine? I know if you don't get a lot of snow, 1 to 3 inches is a lot. Not for here, it's not. So I'm just fussy cutting that because I want that little ice cream stand. And the little ice cream stand is going to go right here. That I am going to lay flat. I add some liquid glue here. Oop. Not upside down. Bring that right over there. I'm going to take a sheet of paper here, cardstock, and I'm going to put the happy birthday. Where are you? I'm going to use Blackberry Bliss. I want it to really stand out. So I'm going to take my Blackberry Bliss. I'm going to do that down here. So a lot of times what I do is I use Blackberry Bliss, or I'll use the new Secret C when I want a sentiment to stand out, but I don't want to use black. So we are going to cut that out right there. And then I'm just going to do a little fussy cutting on this. You're not crazy about Ferris wheels either. I hear you. Okay. The happy birthday. Oh, I gotta add a little glue here. The happy birthday is actually going to go up here on dimensionals. So let's grab some dimensionals. I want the larger ones. Not sure where they went. There they are. Now I'm going to bring that down here a little bit. And I'm going to bring in the puffy stickers. I'm going to take the big balloons and I am going to tuck that right behind it, just like that. Then for right here, I want to add something in there, so I am going to grab one of these circles. I'm going to add that right there. I want to see if, yeah, these little, I'm just looking at the little cones and stuff. And if you want to add a little bit more of those puffy stickers, we'll add a couple right here. And maybe a strawberry slush. And there I have another cute little Dutch door card that goes like this. I should have brought that down further so you could see it. So the Dutch door on this one gets closed like that and then opens like this. And here is one. It's the same one I did. I just had a different color Ferris wheel. And I didn't add those little guys. And then let's take the envelope. And we are going to make a matching envelope for that. Thank you, Patty. I'm going to grab, I think I put, oh, I did. And we'll add this right here. And now I have a matching envelope for my cards. So let me bring in the other Dutch door again. So you have two different ways you can do that. So you can see these. Whichever way you like to make them. Again, when I'm done, I will have the downloadable PDF on my newsletter, and you will have the link. If you haven't joined my newsletter yet, you have time, because I'll send out the newsletter later this afternoon with the PDF. Also, I wanted to mention, if you happen to go through and look at one of my other YouTube videos and you see a card or cards that I've made, and you need the PDF, as long as it's one of my Fun Fold Fridays, you can just tell me what stamp set it is or what day it was that, you know, the video, and I can resend you the newsletter with the PDFs. And I just want to show you one more card. This was just a quick and easy card that I did. I didn't do the inside yet. The reason I wanted to show you that was you see how I used that Celebrate, and I did it light to dark, like an ombre. What I used for that, and I'll show you, is our new stamp positioner. And I just put the stamp Celebrate onto here. You've seen me demonstrate this, I hope, in my last video. And you do the Celebrate, then you bring it down, and you do the Celebrate again. And you don't have to re-ink it, and you can get light and dark. So that is our new stamp positioner, which you can get free right now when you get the starter kit. So if you join my team and Stampin' Up! Right now, they will send you that automatically. I hope you enjoyed today's cards. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter. Don't forget to leave me a comment, follow me on Facebook, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Good morning, Patricia. If you're just tuning in, you can go back and watch the replay. I hope you all have a great weekend. Stay warm